Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Malika.
Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to Scientist Share with Amche Molem. Amche Molem is a citizens movement to protect Molem National Park and Bhagwan Mahavir Wildlife Sanctuary in Goa's Western Ghats from large infrastructure projects. Scientist Share is a platform that we host every month to bring together scientists and citizens. On this platform, scientists who are working in and around Goa share their research and their fieldwork on biodiversity and conservation with us. And this is also a platform where citizens can ask scientists their questions. I'm very excited to introduce Shweta today, who will host our scientist share. So Shweta has been working on golden jackals in Mumbai's mangroves for her master's thesis work, and today she will share her learnings from field and hopefully some jackal photos. I request everyone to please keep their mics on mute. You can use the chat box to ask Shweta questions, and at the end of her talk, you can unmute yourselves and ask her questions directly. Over to you, Shweta. I'll just make you host.
I,
Hi.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for the introduction and giving me this opportunity. I hope everyone had their chai, afternoon chai, and let me know if this is visible, if my screen is visible.
Yes, the screen is visible, Shweta.
Okay, let's begin. So, again, good afternoon. This, as Malika said, this was a part of my master's dissertation work, and I was very lucky to be involved with golden jackals here. So, let's understand what are golden jackals. Okay, so golden jackals are also known as scientific name is Canis aureus, and in IUCN they are considered as least concern. That is not a bad thing. That means they have a healthy population. Now, how do you identify a golden jackal? Okay, so here are some pointers. Their height is around 40 to 50 centimeter. Their tail is thoda thick, hanging down with thoda sa dark black end. The coat is golden yellow with lighter underbelly. Ears are pointed and apart from each other, and their snout is pointed and short. I will quickly play a audio about how do they sound, how do they howl. I hope this is audible.
Yes.
So this was the howling activity. Mostly they howl in the evening. So again, few more pointers about them. They are medium-sized canids. Then the distribution is widespread. They are found in Middle East. Uh, then oh, I'm sorry. I'll just mm, sorry. Yeah. Widespread distribution, again, they are found everywhere. Second is wide range of habitat. That means they are found from lush forest to dry desert. And then they are monogamous. That means they are pair. Mostly the unit consists of father, mother, and the babies. Next, next is they are omnivores. So omnivores means they can feed on both plant matter as well as flesh or non-veg, and they give birth in burrows. These burrows are either dug by them or they are acquired, stolen from some other animals. Now again, I told you about widespread distribution where you can see they are found from Turkey, Iran, South Asia, and furthermore. So why are golden jackals so adaptable and so widely found in all over our world? So first is adaptable scavengers. They can feed on almost anything they get. Like they prey on, either they hunt or they scavenge. Second, due to the ability to adapt and feed on almost anything, they are habitat masters. Now, again, I told you like they can be found on dry deserts, lush forest, or any forest, mountains, and grasslands, and near urban areas. And due to this adaptability, they have widespread distribution. Second, they are medium sized, as in they are like smaller than a wolf, but they are bigger than a fox. Group behavior, as I said, golden jackals are monogamous, and due to this, their unit consists of father, mother, baby, and when the baby matures, it stays with the group to take care of the next batch. This is how the this is how the unit increases, and due to this, The more in number, the more their survival rate increases. The next is swift actions. Due to their long legs and slender bodies, they can easily go to far distances to scavenge or to find food. Coming to the city of Mumbai, Mumbai has always had jackals with them. Even in the late 90s, Salim Ali beautifully described golden jackals being in Mumbai, in Chembur, howling of golden jackals and all. But due to habitat destruction and urbanization, they have been confined to the mangroves of Mumbai. There are still cases of golden jackals being rescued, but there hasn't been any scientific study on them until now. Coming to the mangroves of Mumbai, Mumbai is known for having a national park in its city's bound, but the periphery of Mumbai is surrounded by mangroves. So these mangroves are then again divided into two major zones. One is the eastern mangroves and other is the western mangroves. Mangroves are important. Let's see why. First, they provide coastal protection, biodiversity support, which means many animals rely on mangroves for their needs, and nursery habitats for various fishes and other things. Uh, Coming to the rich biodiversity of Mumbai mangroves, it's dominated by grey mangroves, which is Avicennia marina. Then there's flamingos. Then there's painted stock, red bottle lapwing. There's fiddler crabs. There's mud skippers. There's jungle cat. Then there's dog face water snake, and of course, golden jackals are here. Uh, let's see about how this study came to a place. Around November, we started to form a research question. We started to do a literature review where we were like, this all is happening, this needs to be done. Again, we had no previous data, so it was like that's why we whole December went into pilot study and initial survey where we would go on field, go without shoes in the mangroves, get muddy, see how this feel, and every area, explore the area. Then Jan to March 2023 was complete field work, and April was for data analysis. Coming to my study area. So as I talked about western mangroves and the eastern mangroves, I focused on the western mangroves of Mumbai for my thesis topic. So Mumbai is located on the western coast of Maharashtra, and as you can see here, this is a very patchy landscape. There is no continuous forest, and this has many multiple suburbs in this. And due to this patchy landscape, the mangrove often shares its bounds and its areas with human settlements. Um, there are ponds, there are salt pans, there are people living in near the mangroves, etc. Some areas of this mangroves are very dense where you cannot enter, and some are very sparse where you can walk freely. So all this introduction, and now I need to know okay, what I actually studied. So I had my two main objectives clear. One was to understand the temporal activity pattern of golden jackals, that is, the activity of golden jackals with respect to time. And second was to understand the feeding habits of golden jackals. I wanted to know what they ate, what they fed upon. So, according to my objectives, I come to my methodology. My methodology is first for temporal, I conducted camera trapping survey, and for analysis there was also relative abundance. More on it, I will come to it. Okay. Then there was feeding ecology. Also, I wanted to know what they eat. That's why I use dual methodology approach for feeding ecology. One is where I conducted interviews and to understand what they feed, and second was cat analysis. So Coming to camera trapping and temporal, I will first quickly explain what is camera trapping. So this here, sorry, is a model of cutback C1. Okay, it's a PIR trigger, passive infrared trigger camera. Basically, this works is there's a sensor. As soon as the animal passes or anything passes in front of the camera, it clicks a picture and it also is capable of taking a video. So due to infrared flash, I would get black and white night images. Okay. And the way you set up camera is perpendicular to the animal. So for golden jackal, I would keep the camera height to my knee level. So when the golden jackal pass, I I will get a picture. But in mangroves we had a problem due to the high tides. This we would lose cameras. So I had to put the cameras thoda on a height and at an angle. But so like this, like there's me in the water, and you won't believe in half an hour this high tide would go and this would turn into completely dry area. But still, we would lose some of our camera traps, either due to water, due to high tide, or due to theft. RIP my little soldiers. But coming to the temporal activity pattern, what I did with those cameras, based on my initial survey, I divided my study area into 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer grids. And from those grid, I deployed 43 camera traps for like for minimum of 10 days, and they were deployed for continuous 24 hours. Okay, and then this image were then categorized as golden jackals, dogs, humans, करके divide, and then these divide were categorized into 2 hour interval, like 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., and so on. Um Again, there are some areas, squares which don't have a red dot, which means there was no camera deployed. This is the reason why. Let's play detective. There are two areas. One area has absolutely no sign of an animal, and then there's the second area where there are multiple signs. And what signs do we look for when we are going on field? We look for pug mark, scats, and the animal itself, if you can have a direct sighting. So that's why the area with no signs was not considered, and area with multiple signs was considered. Coming to the relative abundance. So relative abundance is important to understand the ecological interactions between species. For example, and this helps us to understand how do they behave with each other, how do they share their space. So for this, there's a simple formula: relative abundance index equal to number of independent photographs multiplied by 100 divided by total trap days. So here is a fun video of how they share the landscape with other animals. There's golden jackals moving. Then this is a jungle cat moving silently. There are dogs in the same location, different time, different days. Then there are humans moving in the same location. What happened? Huh, okay. So coming to the locals and jackals part, where I conducted interviews where I asked basic questions like Have you seen jackal? Oh, what? How do they behave when they see you? What do you think they eat? And how jackals were earlier and how are they now? So, locals came up with very interesting point of views and pointers that were really important for our study, which we used. And this here I try to illustrate a story which they tell is golden jackals catch crabs by dipping their tail into the holes of the crab. And when the crab catches its tail, it quickly removes its tails and pounces on the crab and eats the crab. Yeah, like that was very unbelievable, but some people were like, yeah, we have seen this in real life. And locals also considered golden jackal lucky, and this is because when they have a direct sighting of golden jackals, they could sense that there were more number of fish in their nets. And in the evening when golden jackals start to howl, they have this nice word called kolooki. I hope there's something similar in Goa. If there is, please let me know. And next, there was some poop talks. Let's begin. So, collecting the scat of golden jackal was first to understand how this cat looked like. So, the scat of golden jackal is it's with tapering ends. It has both vegetative matter as well as uh, animal remains. So as you can see, there's a seed stuck in this poop. So it's golden jackal's poop, and it has pointy ends. And of course, there were some mistakes made, no doubt in that. We might have collected the wrong scat once. Then we categorized this cat, and basically what we did was to wash this cat, and whatever the things that were remained, like the seed won't wash away. So that was collected, dried, and it was all noted down. Coming to my result section of this talk, first one was to understand the temporal activity pattern. So, a total of 516 camera trap days gave us this graph where this is the number of photographs and this is time divided in 2 hours. So, first we can see there's two distinctive peak of golden jackals. One is like at 4 to 6 a.m. and second is 20 to 22 p.m. Then humans had the highest number of peak at 12 to 14 p.m. And then dogs 8 to 10 a.m. and 16 to 18 p.m. So we can conclude that when golden jackals were most active, humans and dogs were least active. When humans were most active, golden jackals were least active. These are some fun golden jackal images. So this is a pair, male, female, and a pup. As you can see, there's a city behind. There's a building. Then this is another female, and then this is like nonchalantly walking around the birds. And these guys have noticed the cameras. They are like, hi, I see you. And then apart from golden jackals, we have leopards, jungle cat, small Indian civet, feral pigs, and then Indian grey mongoose. So, relative abundance of golden jackal with respect to dogs and humans. So, golden jackal showed the lowest number of relative abundance, and humans showed the highest number of relative abundance here. Again, this is a picture of a same location used by these three in during different time. So, the perception of feeding ecology, where we conducted interview survey, if you remember the crab story, this is what people local people did say, like they consume crabs and fish. So crabs were around 26.1% and fish was 21.8%. Then we had the feeding ecology. We collected total of 26 cats from Jan to April, but due to time constraint, we could not conduct scat analysis until species level. We could identify food items until class level. So the most thing we found was mammalia, mammals, 29%, and then there was vegetative matter. So here are some undigested materials we found is jaw bones, and then there's, I think, rodent hands, and then there's reptile skin, which is not digested, and that was found. Next, coming to the discussion section of this, there are very less number of there are very less number of golden jackal studies done here in India. And apart from those study, most of them that those studies like share their topic with golden jackals. Maximum number of studies are in protected areas, less number of studies are in urban areas. But let's see what we find. So, normally, golden jackals are diurnal in nature. That means they are active during the day. And next is when their a habitat is near human settlement, they are nocturnal, which means they are active during the night. So, what did my study area say? They were nocturnal or crepuscular. Nocturnal, which means active during the night, and crepuscular means active during the early morning or late evening. So, why does this happen? There are two main reasons. One is activity of prey. It's simple. If your prey is active at night, the predator will be active at night. The second was to avoid human. As we saw in the graph earlier, when the human activity was highest, the golden jackal's activity was at its lowest. Next is golden jackal diet according to other studies. So in Bhal region, Gujarat, it was documented that these golden jackal preyed on large mammals which was hunted by large predators. They preyed on the carcass. Then they hunted the small mammals, and there was occasional presence of fruits in their diet. And there is this study done in Pirotan Island where there were no other large predator with them, so they mostly feeded on fish and crabs. So, what was the golden jackal's diet according to our study? One was people's perception, where people did say कि golden jackal would raid our poultry and fish nets, but still people they had a very neutral view about golden jackals. कि it's okay if they take poultry, it's okay, and they did not see golden jackal as a threat. Second was to understand the scat analysis. So we found mostly mammals and plant matter. We found Indian jujube seeds. And there was occasional findings of fishnet or plastic debris in the scat, which confirms that there was like poultry raiding and fishnet raiding done by golden jackals in our study area. Next is why are golden jackals important for the mangroves of Mumbai? Because they maintain the ecological balance. This helps us understand as they feed upon the small mammals, which in turn helps mangroves. Second is they are scavengers and cleanup crews. Even the locals said they feed upon anything that they find in the mangroves, which suggests that they are cleaning up mangroves, and all the scavenger basically have the same role, like even crows. They are the cleanup crews. Second is seed dispersal. As I showed you, there was a seed of Indian jujube. So, they eat the fruit, they disperse the seeds. Third, then there are the indicator species for mangroves because they are the top predators which are still surviving there. And uh, then there is research and conservation value. So again, as I said, this was the first initial study done on golden jackals in mangroves, and there is a potential to understand how this golden jackal and mangroves come into play. Educational and awareness. So not many people in Mumbai know there are golden jackals in Mumbai. So that's the educational and awareness purpose comes in part. There are mangrove health indicators. So a healthy amount of golden jackals say that the mangroves are capable of sustaining golden jackals and other animals. That's why they are mangrove health indicators. Now, what are the threats that they have? One is habitat loss. Due to urbanization, mangroves are on a verge of, decreasing. There's human wildlife conflict. So these mangroves get out of their habitat, go into someone's house, or if there's a construction, they fall into pits, then they are rescued and other things. So currently there is a very neutral view, neutral perspective from people. But if cases like jackal attacking someone or other part begins, then there's a risk. Hybridization risk. As golden jackals are close relatives with um, dogs, they might mate, and due to this, there is a hybrid created between a dog and a jackal. This might
Excuse me, Shweta.
dilute.
Uh,
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you. I just request everyone to please join this new link that I have sent because we have the basic Zoom plan. We'll have to please shift to the next link. So there are about 31 participants right now. I have left the new Zoom link on the chat. I request everyone to please join this link and then we will continue Shweta's presentation and the question and answer round from there.
okay.
Please join the next Zoom link.